I think I remember it being like so hot, you know what I'm saying? Like, just really, really hot, and adjusting to the weather and being outside. I think that's what I remember the most, is being like so hot and sunny.
First game against the Seahawks in 2016. I remember, I think it was pretty close to 100 degrees. Me and my wife, we always go to the games together, and we just stuck it out the whole time in the sun. Probably the thing I'm always gonna remember about the Coliseum in early September. It's that brutal sun, man. You gotta be ready for it.
You can just feel the history in that building, and just see like the Olympics and all the things that happen in that building, in that stadium. So it's just the when you look around, you're just like, man, all the history that's this stadium has been a part of. It's crazy.
I mean, that was our home opener for that season. Starting the season off against the Seattle team that kind of had our number for a number of years, but to get that win was huge. Yeah, Greg balled out. Special teams had a great contribution. Our defense was nails, only allowing 3 points. I think AD was just all over them. I do remember that game being special, and just that it was packed with our fans. Kind of the Coliseum, welcome back Rams moment, and getting that win was huge.
The field looks fabulous. The stadium electric. I can only imagine what it's like to be at ground level.
I'm actually jealous, man. I wish I could play tonight. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Southern California weather, you can't ask for better. These guys are locked and loaded, ready to go. It doesn't feel like a Thursday night game. It feels like they've had a whole week to get ready.
Man, we got to put on the show. It's prime time today.
For me, I feel like it's the tunnel. Hitting that tunnel, all the greats who walk through that tunnel. It's just you hear the cleats clacking. You don't see the fans, you don't see the field yet. And then you hit that turn, and then it's just like, it's showtime, you're running out, and the fans erupt.
There's just something about night games that are a little bit different than day games. The energy's different, knowing that it's prime time. It was pretty special, and it was my first night game.
That was unbelievable. That was like one of Jared's best games he's played for us, and I mean, just watching him, every pass he threw, you're like, man, this guy is special.
Goff takes the shotgun snap. Nice pocket to deal from. He wings one down the middle to the end zone. Whoa. Caught by Brandon Cooks. Shoot your arrows. Touchdown, LA. He beat Trey Waynes. A big ball over the top from Jared Goff.
That was fun. That was a really fun one. That was Thursday night, week 4 last year, and it was fun. It was very fun. I was feeling good, and we put on a show that night.
The best way to describe, I guess, my emotions or my feelings about that game is the fact that I really couldn't talk when it was over. I had no voice left.
Goff wants to deal. He throws to the end zone, looking for Cup. Caught at the back pylon! Touchdown, LA!
My wife always laughs. She knows the best games because we go home and I can't speak anymore.
It kind of was that statement game, like, are these Rams for real? They come out and beat the Vikings. Is it for real? So I think that was our big statement game.
38-28 the score. Waist-high snap to Cousins. He's hit by Sue and dragged down for a sack.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was one of those deals, too, where you're just sitting back as a coach and you're saying, man, it's incredible when guys get into a rhythm and they're just playing and they're just balling. It was exciting. It was what you would say, all right, when things are rolling, you're playing well, you're 3-0 at the time. What does a Thursday night game in LA look like? There was a lot of people that you recognize, and there was a buzz that, was exciting. That was a special night for our players, and it was fun watching them, really do their thing.
The Rams will win it 38-31. They get vengeance on the Vikings, and they sweep September. The 2017 Rams reset is underway. It begins in week 1 with a home game here at the Coliseum against the Indianapolis Colts.
It was the first game as a head coach. I remember our team was hot. We had 2 defensive touchdowns that day. We had a safety, so the defense was rolling. They outscored the Colts themselves, so they started it out hot. They did a great job. And then I think offensively it was just kind of getting rolling, getting things figured out.
If I can remember the biggest thing, I remember thinking dang, we got an offense, so we could kind of chill on the defense, So yeah, that's when I was falling in love with McVay for sure.
That day gave me a lot of hope because, I think we needed a spark for the organization, and seeing Coach McVay come in and provide that spark was amazing. Not only that, we also had an incredible rookie class that year, so seeing those players develop through the years has also been an amazing thing.
Coming into that game, really just that season, That was our whole focus, set the tone right away, start fast, and I think that's what we did. We set the tone for the year, put up a lot of points, held them on defense, and really like a shutout performance. And it was a start to the McVay era and started this Rams team.
Oh, when McVay came in, it was just, I was like in tears. I just said, wow, these guys are great,
It was incredible. It was definitely a welcome, to the league party for him. It was a huge moment for us as an organization.
I remember us, not knowing what it was going to be like that year, and coming in with Sean, and you have all these expectations, but you really truly never know till you get out there, and it felt good. It felt really good, and we're like, all right, like we can do this with this guy. He knows what he's doing, and it gave us a lot of belief in him, and I know he had a lot of fun that day too.
We know sometime when the Cowboys come, they kind of take over the stadium, but that game it was pure Rams, lights out, and just dominating all over the ground, all over the air.
Just a great team win. I thought our defense was outstanding. They were suffocating all night long, and then to be able to run the football the way that we did with the combination of Todd and CJ.
Again, it was almost like, hey, we've earned this right to have this crowd now with what we've done the last few years in LA and what people have seen what we mean to them, and we know what our chance is here, and we went out and got that win, and it meant a lot, and I think it really established ourselves here in LA and only grew that fan base further.
It's national TV. You're everybody in the country's watching. They seem to perform really well under the lights.
Went into that game, super excited. I just knew it. There was something special about 2018. You got one of the greatest offenses in the NFL in the Rams, and one of the toughest running teams in the Dallas Cowboys.
He's the single receiver to the left side. They give to Elliott straight ahead, ran into his own man, looking for the 35, and the Rams are fighting him every step of the way. They just got a fourth down stand.
It was about everything. It finally putting together. Finally we come out and win that game, and go to the Saints and win that game. I mean, it was just all put together.
Just to know, man, we're going to the NFC Championship.
Just to know that we're going to the championship game was just insane.
You just can't make those things up, and that's what's great about this game.
1 down, 2 to go. The Rams will go to the NFC Championship game. And now we turn our attention to perhaps a Super Bowl preview. One of the most anticipated regular season NFL games ever.
City had gone through a lot. The local community here, between the borderline shooting and the wildfires, we needed a venue to kind of gather together and rally around, and it was a surreal experience.
That national anthem was completely different. The energy was completely different. Everything about it was just insane. Just the energy was just through the roof, and it was one of those, this is a must-win game for all the people that have been affected by the wildfires, by the borderline shooting.
It was a game that I think we had a bye week the next week, and knowing that, we were able to kind of let it all hang out there and leaving everything on the field. And it was a lot of back and forth, obviously, with the Chiefs and Patrick. They were playing well on offense, and so were we. And it was a lot of back and forth, and it was fun.
I feel like it was just super intense. You didn't really get to sit back and relax or look at the iPads and see what's going on. You're literally, watching the game because there's so many plays happening, turnovers, defensive scoring, turnover possessions. We're sitting down, next minute we're running back on the field.
And I think what a lot of people miss when you talk about a 54-51 game, there's a lot of really good big-time defensive plays in that game. That's what people miss is, for us to have 2 defensive touchdowns, the amount of turnovers that we forced, they had a defensive touchdown. So it was a high-caliber game really on all fronts. Even though there were a lot of points scored, there was still good defense. I just felt a resilient team that night. 4
receivers in formation. First down and 10 from the Kansas City 40. He fires right sideline. Gerald Everett caught him in the shoulder.
Just to sit off at the end with Gerald Everett tiptoeing the sideline.
I don't even think I could hear myself screaming. It was so loud. It was great.
I literally couldn't do anything. I was almost frozen. And then all of a sudden, my friend that I was with started shaking me, and I was just, then I exploded. I was just amazed, like, oh my God.
The way it finished, Marcus had the interception, and he was a former Chief, and it was just all the back and forth, and it was, again, the whole city coming together. It was incredible.
and we took care of what needed to be done, and it just, yeah, it was incredible. It was such an incredible game. That was probably my favorite game.
On a night that LA will never forget, the Rams have defeated the Kansas City Chiefs.